Congressman, people of the interior states, I am disappointed that this is the best that you can come up with. Sure, he may have made a name for himself in cattle, but that doesn't mean that he understands things. He gave some numbers. He explained photosynthesis. But it turns out that this carbon dioxide actually does trap heat from the sun. It does. Energy gets into the system and it stays in the system. It doesn't reflect back into space. He hasn't explained that yet. But what has been explained over and over again is that carbon dioxide comes from burning fossil fuels. The carbon dioxide levels today are twice as high as they were about 100 years ago, and they can still go up. Plants do take in carbon dioxide, they turn it into sugars, and they do put those sugars into the soil. But these sugars get metabolized, they get back into the atmosphere, and there's not enough plants to sequester that carbon dioxide. A lot of that carbon dioxide does get absorbed by the oceans, and heat gets trapped in the oceans, and the ice touching the oceans melts. Sea levels rise. We have things to be concerned about, and we have to look into them. We have to keep scientists watching them, and we have to have government making policies related to the scientifically predicted outcomes. Government will need to fund it. That's just the way things are. And we need government to be the arbitrator. And there needs to be an international body, a union of governments, our governments, democratic governments, that are arbitrating deals between businesses, not doing away with capitalism, mind you, and not implementing socialism. We don't want either one. We want the goals of socialism without actually implementing socialism, without destroying capitalism. We want to regulate capitalism to prevent things like speculative bubbles. We want to eliminate the problems of capitalism and get the benefits, get the goals of socialism. That's what modern socialist movements tend to want. They do not want to implement full socialism and eliminate capitalism. We want to be more like Scandinavia, not like communism. So, he could easily know this nuance. He could easily know that there's much more carbon dioxide in the atmosphere than there used to be, and it can still go up because there's still unburnt fuel. And he could know that the biosphere cannot necessarily handle this, but he's not being nuanced. Why do people in the interior elect people who are just so uneducated or so unnuanced in how they explain things, showing he's ignoring something that has already been explained? You, in the interior of this country, you make yourself look dumb by electing people like this. And think, if you are younger than he is, if you are younger, imagine if you were younger. What would it be like to hear old people saying oh, there isn't a problem. And then they explain it poorly why there isn't a problem. And you know there is a problem. What would you think of older people? But you older people just think, oh, we're just entitled. No, we understand things that you don't understand. And you're not going to be here to suffer the consequences. 400 million years. That is how long the carbon that's in the atmosphere has not been in the atmosphere. You want to release all the carbon has been out of the system for 400 million years. Think of all the plants that have been existed in that time and have been buried. He's not dealing with that number. He's just saying, like, he's just acting like trees are taking carbon that they've always had. Just dumb. Why did you vote for people like that?